What's up, Excluded Middle? So I'm here in my kitchen deboning a chicken, and I was just kind of on my mind, like lots of things. When I'm in my kitchen doing stuff, it's like that's like my man. I don't know. Like I'm comfortable in here, and I love to cook and do those things. And so it frees my mind. Like I'm doing something that's kind of repetitive. I'm deboning a chicken. It's pretty easy. Hopefully, no bones go in my casserole for tonight. We have like family coming out to celebrate Epiphany, and I'm thinking about Epiphany and what it means as a like Protestant my whole life who never celebrated it until recently. I'm blessed with a wife who knows a lot about Epiphany and kind of goes over the top with it, and I really rather enjoy this time of year with her. Even almost more so than Christmas now. And Christmas is pretty awesome. But man, this has just become just another super special thing. I guess all on par together, right? But I was thinking, I'm thinking of how things are, and everything we do involves some sacrifice, right? It just does. And maybe I'm clear off base here. I could be. I don't know. This is what's on my mind. But I think of levels of sacrifice. We think of, as Christians, the sacrifice that Christ made on the cross to take us back to being able to be in the presence of God, right? Before that point, the presence of God was behind a veil, and only certain people could go in there once in a while. And then I think, just my brain's all over the place, but at some point the presence of God left, the Shekinah left the temple, but they kept pretending that it was there, right? Like, I think they lost the Ark of the Covenant, and that was the mercy seat. That's where God's glory was, these types of things in the temple. They lost the Ark of the Covenant. God had nowhere to reside, but they kept on pretending that he was. And that's a whole nother thing. I could go on and on about that. I want to talk about sacrifice. They made lots of sacrifices to an empty temple there, and it became this thing, right? This legalistic thing, I guess you'd say. And it was by works, so not far off, but that's not God's intent ever, never was. His intent was for us to be in perfect communion with him, which takes sacrifice, right? Takes sacrifice. And I'm thinking, man, Trish and I were going to have this dinner. We're going to have our like biological families out, whoever can come, and our close personal friends are coming, that our family, we love them just as much. Like, we would do so much for them, they would do so much for us. And it's such an enjoyable time. And each little aspect of that involves a little tiny bit of personal sacrifice. For me, my sacrifice is not even time related. I'm off work. I have hurt my back earlier this year, and I've been on leave waiting to get fixed. So my sacrifice is personal pain, physical pain. And right now, currently, I'm in a great deal of it. I've really done a lot today, more than normal. And it's worth it, right? The joy I will feel later is worth it. Christmas, same thing. Cooks foods, blah, blah, blah. In a lot of pain, but watching the grandkids just be grandkids, and we don't care what they do here, the sacrifice was worth it. Now, the people that come, they're going to sacrifice some time. They could probably do something else. I hope that they all enjoy their time here, and that they feel loved and welcome and those types of things, and enjoy the food, of course. But they have to sacrifice some dollars. I live 20 miles away from everybody that's coming. They're going to drive over. There's just that. And so there's this amount of sacrifice. What are we willing to do for certain aspects of things that involve a sacrifice? The Bible, I can't even think where it's at. I'm sure it's one of the Gospels, I think, but Jesus is talking, and he's talking about a builder, and that a builder will count the cost before building said structure or building. And when I thought of this morning, I counted the cost of what my day looked like, how I'm going to pace myself today, what the ending result could look like, what sacrifices I am willing and am not willing to make, because there are some, right? And so that's just what my mind's on, and I've been mindful the last couple of weeks at church at the end of the year after Christmas, transitioning into Epiphany season. We gotta hear an amazing lesson, teaching, sermon, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it a lesson about where is our heart with what we do with our time, talent, and our tokens. Tokens being our finances, and I quickly realized that I am a terrible, terrible manager of sacrificing time. I like to be in control of that. Now, people ask me to help do stuff. I say yes. Of course, most of the time, though, my ego is what says yes, because I yes, I'll do it. You need it. I got you, you know? And then I'm not counting, and then I suffer in the end, right? Pain, don't think about it, don't pace myself, blah, 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 you know? But yeah, then my talent and what do I use, what I'm good at, what gifts God gave me. I really do. I try to be available in that aspect. I really care about people. I joke all the time that I can't stand people, and there are people that I just have a hard time tolerating them. And that's not even really. It's more of just a bluff and trying to talk tough than anything. And I think most of my close personal friends and people around me probably recognize that. But it's also a way that I can create boundary. And but then I think of my finances, and all year in 25 I was praying for discipline on my food consumption, discipline on my finances, and discipline with my time. And it's weird that the year ended with that service and you get in this reflection. I think reflection's good, because we learn from our mistakes. And what I've recognized is if I'm making the same continual mistake, it could be sin, right? So then I have to start evaluating that. Am I sinning? Am I sinning by not making a good use of my time? God gives us rest, right? He says to rest. Am I resting too much? I learned a long time ago that we work to rest. That is the way that we were designed and created. And we got it mixed up somewhere that we think we need to rest to work. Oh, I didn't get enough of this or that. I can't do this. And I'm bad about that, really bad about that. But at the end of the day, man, I serve and worship a God that doesn't give me a free pass. He disciplines me properly, adequately, and allows me to respond, right? That is all from the sacrifice. I said that word a lot, didn't I? Sacrifice. That Jesus the Christ made on the cross for us. He was dead set on doing that from probably, I would say that for sure. I mean, how do you even know? But the beginning of his ministry, he was already preaching, teaching, telling his disciples on those things, right? Prophecy. Can't get away from those things when you're the guy. So yeah, what are we sacrificing as we move ahead into 2026? And this applies to me as much as it does to anybody. And if you're already fairly good at these things, then come alongside someone with grace and mercy that struggles. Someone like me, and I have my people that are very, very kind to me to help me, nudge me, and do those things, even though holding me accountable is very difficult because I'm addicted. But it still happens, right? But if you're in that place, then come alongside and walk with somebody and help get them out of that rut, out of that gutter. And do really honestly what we're commanded to do. I think about in James where it says, real religion is this, to feed the widows and the orphans, right? And when I think of orphan, man, that could quite literally, I think it does mean children without homes and parents and those types of things. I obviously widows and orphans, I get that, but beyond that, wouldn't somebody who's not saved, who's unadopted, be an orphan? I mean, I'm just saying. So where we spend our time and our talent matters. Um, you know, I'm not a great giver of any of those things. I would say in the scheme of it, and I'm not trying to like level up against other people. I think that's a terrible thing. I think we should level up against Scripture. But if I was like, say, I'm gonna pick a person out of Scripture to level up after, who's it gonna be, right? We have our ultimate, Jesus Christ, and then we have all these examples of other people that were great at some things and terrible at others, just like us. You know, where are we spending our time, our talents, and our tokens? Our just those T's. Time, talent, tokens. It's heavy on my mind. Maybe it's heavy on yours now. I don't know, but I think it had to be said. That way I can watch it and hold myself accountable. And if 10 people watch, great. If not, I'll keep doing this. I love you guys.